And we're alive.
Yay!
All right. Man, like, I have been so pumped up for this episode. Like, I can't even think about it. This is Jay Grossman. I'm the CEO and founder of AutoAgent.com. And this is Mr.
David Marks with Quality Auto STL, home of trusted services with no surprises.
We want to welcome everybody to the Auto Authorities Podcast. And this, our podcast is blowing up. We are hearing all kinds of positive feedback from just everywhere. You know, this is a nationwide podcast, so you don't have to be in St. Louis to listen to it.
That's right.
And if you're just joining us and you're watching it on YouTube, click the red subscribe button. If you're listening on Facebook and you'd like to be part of our community, please join our Facebook group, the Auto Authorities Podcast.
Yeah, do it.
Auto Authorities Podcast, and click the join group button and send us questions. If you have questions or you have an idea for a show, send them to info@iautoagent.com. That's info@iautoagent.com. And then one more thing for if you just joined us, we have a special gift. If you're one of our loyal listeners, you probably already know about this, but just in case you're joining us, we have a free gift for you. Listen closely.
Woo-hoo. I like free gifts.
Grab your phone, go to your text messaging program, and type in 57838. That's 57838, and text the word car. And you're going to get a free ebook on how to buy a car without the nonsense. And we are actually going to have a second addition to that book. So if you are typing this in, you're also going to get the second edition, which includes our wonderful Mr. David Marks of Quality STL. All right. Well, hey, I wanted to thank everybody for joining us. We have a lot to talk about today. We're going to talk about extended warranties to buy or not to buy.
That is the question.
It really is. And this is part two, because in part one, we really just talked about the types of warranties, and we're going to touch on that. But what you're going to learn today is how do warranties actually work? What's the process on going through those? Because we all know when you go to the dealer, Guido's brother will sell you a warranty if you allow them. And there's all kinds of like legal jargon and all this different stuff that it's very hard to understand. And then you leave there and you're like, oh, I think I got something really good, but you really don't know. And we're going to dig into those contracts, and it's going to be fun. We're going to talk about things that you wouldn't even believe what we're going to talk about. And we're going to even talk about how to transfer that warranty or cancel the warranty when you're done with it, or transferring it to a different car. There's all types of different options for you. So I wanted to really thank Techie Tony with Techie Tony Media. If you're looking to start your podcast, they're one of our sponsors. Simply send a message to start@TechieTonyMedia.com. And Dave, are you ready to get this party started?
Absolutely.
Let's do it.
Have you ever felt like you were taken for a ride when buying, selling, or repairing your car? Well, not anymore. I'm Jay.
And I'm Dave.
And this is the podcast that tells you what to watch out for, whether you're buying, selling,
or repairing your car.
With 47 years of automotive experience, we are the Automotive Authorities. This podcast is sponsored by iAutoAgent. We're real estate agents for cars.
And Quality Auto STL. Trusted services with no surprises.
All right. Hey,
Hoo-hoo!
welcome back. I am really, really excited to make sure that we have another amazing show planned for you today. We're talking about extended warranties to buy or not to buy if you're just joining us. So I want to start by talking about what is an extended warranty and what does it mean when you have one? Dave,
Well,
what do you think it is?
Well, I just thought it is what it is. It's an extended warranty where they pay a portion of certain covered repairs and that the consumer is going to pay the rest. We learned last time that it's really an insurance policy. I had no idea that they were an insurance policy. I always kind of thought I'm just going to be blind or some kind of just a scam, just another way to pad the bill. When they sell a car. I mean, I've seen good ones and I've seen bad ones, and just when people bring these into my shop, and that's something, because there's hundreds of thousands of these, and I say, let me see your contract. I said, I'm gonna make a phone call. We're gonna find out what you bought. I don't care what the salesman told you at the car lot. You're done with them. They're gone. They got their commission. They sold it. They're out of the loop. We're gonna find out really what you have, because the first thing that I do with these is I call the warranty company. I say, here's the customer's information. Here's their complaint. Do you cover the cost for me to test and inspect to find out, what the solution is to their problem? Some do, some won't. Or they'll say, if it's a covered part, we cover it. If it's not, we don't. Well, then I got to go back to the customer and explain that to them, because we're not doing any testing and inspecting unless we're going to get paid. So sometimes the customer, I've had it where they pay that, and then I call the warranty company. Nope, that's not a covered part. And I've had it work the other way. And they're just all different. There's too many out there to remember who does what.
That is such a good point. And, just like, car salespeople and car dealerships, there are some great ones out there, and we partner with them. But there's also some bad ones out there. And what we want to do is we want to keep you away from the bad ones. And you'll know right away, especially if you buy, if you've seen the movie Tommy Boy, and they talk about why do you keep buying parts from this person? Because the warranty's on the box. And remember this, the warranty is only as good as the company that writes the policy. If you're dealing with a cruddy company, now I will say this, if you go and look for reviews online for warranty companies, there will never be any positive reviews like you would see from a normal company. And the reason for that, and listen closely, and this is a golden nugget, think about why people use a warranty. They use a warranty because they have a problem. And depending on the reality of the situation and how it was explained to them, what the warranty covers is how somebody is going to react when they find out that they meet Darth Vader here, not Darth Vader, but David Hart. And he said, it's not.
Jay, I am your father.
Because that's like the worst thing to hear. So one of the things that we do at iAutoAgent is we make sure that people are only purchasing exclusionary policies. I don't really sell anything but that. And anybody in my company is trained to sell the exclusionary policies, because that is a policy that will mirror the factory warranty. So if a factory warranty is covering this, so will an exclusionary policy. And what an exclusionary policy is, just to touch on this, just in case you didn't hear part one, it shows every part that is not covered. A stated policy shows you every part that is covered. And you always want to look at the ones that aren't. It's a much shorter list. It's easier to understand. And I can't stress enough, when you're sitting down with Guido's brother at the dealership and Bobby's buying his car.
Bobby's trying to buy a car again.
Unfortunately, Bobby makes bad decisions, but hopefully Bobby is listening to our podcast. But Guido's brother will hopefully go over that so you understand what you are purchasing. That is plain and simple, right? And so the process, once you have this policy, is some of them are good after 30 days. So there's a 30-day window where you cannot use that policy, and that prevents fraud. But what we have at iAutoAgent is we have policies that are good day one, and that is the very best policy you can purchase. Now, if you can only imagine this, Guido's cousin that started Honest Abe dealership on the side of the street sometimes provides these policies to their customers, and they don't look over the cars properly, and then the warranty companies take it in the nose. So that's why, like, our company is built on integrity. And when you go see somebody like Darth Vader, I mean David Marks, he's actually going to turn into Luke Skywalker because he's going to be your friend. He's going to be your friend. And what the process is like he said, he's going to call that warranty company. It's just like if you're going into the doctor, because David is a doctor. He is a doctor for cars. And when you're going to the doctor and you're like, I have an insurance card. And in the insurance card says what they will pay for. And they call and they say, hey, you know what? We're going to pay for this, but we may not. We may not pay for that.
Yeah, I've seen some stuff with one of these, and it's just, I had one guy, he had his ABS light was on, and the sensor was built into the wheel bearing. Okay. So if I had known what I had known, because I called the warranty company and I said, yeah, we cover ABS. I'm like, okay, cool. So we test the car, find out this was on a Cadillac SRX. And in this instance, the wheel bearing and ABS speed sensors, all one unit. They're not serviced separately. It's built into it. So if I had said that the wheel bearing had caused the ABS light to come on, they would have covered it. But because I said just an ABS sensor, they wouldn't cover it. And it's just, if I would have just known, I would have told them this, but I didn't know any better. So I didn't go back to the customer. That's one of those instances where if it's a covered part, they pay for it. If it's not, they don't. And if I had just known a little bit better, I would have said, yeah, it needs a wheel bearing, and they would have paid for it.
And it's all about the wording too.
Yeah,
so
the language.
You really have to be careful of where you're taking the car. Now, normally you can take the car to any ASC certified mechanic anywhere in the country, and they want to use ASC certified because it's a program that you have to go through and a certification, that they want to deal with reputable mechanics.
Well, a lot of times they want a W-9 form from me, and for people who don't know it, that tells you that, yeah, I'm paying taxes with the IRS through a business, not a backyard.
So not Guido's brother's cousin having,
Shade Tree Auto Service
side of the street.
Yeah.
Right. Or I should say not just a dealership, but a service station.
Yeah.
And I really, just real quick, I wanted to just chime in. If you just tuned in, we're talking about extended warranties to buy or not to buy. We have some great things coming up in the show to really end it off with a bang. But before I forget, if you're listening on YouTube, please click the red subscribe button. If you're listening on Facebook and you'd like to be part of our community, please join our Facebook group, the Auto Authorities Podcast. And please send us the questions that you want to know. We only do these episodes when people tell us what they want to hear, because we don't know what you want to hear. But people have been talking about these warranties for a long time. And I think sometimes they get a bad press. And what we're going to talk about next is whether we should buy them or not. And I think that's what people want to hear. Should you buy the warranty or not? And we're going to talk about that here in 1 second. But if you're just joining us, if you don't know about our free gift, if you text 57838, so if you take out your phone, use a little text messaging thing and text 57838, the word car, you will receive a free ebook on how to buy a car without the nonsense. Step by step, it's exactly what we use at iAuto Agent to buy a vehicle without costing you 4 to 7 hours sitting at the dealership. So let's get into whether you should buy it or not, because I think that's why we're all here. And I'm going to say this. I'm going to start with this. I'm going to use an insurance policy, an auto insurance policy. And we are going to look at deductibles. And I always take $1,000 deductible. What about you, Dave?
I don't know. Well, I mean, all my stuff's through my business, so I don't know. I mean, for our home, it's $1,000 or $1,500 deductible, but I mean, all my vehicles are insured through the business, and I honestly don't know.
We'll have a deductible probably. So
yeah,
let's just say hypothetically, it's typically $1,000. That's what most insurance, and we'll have some insurance agents on here in the future. But what we're going to talk about is deductibles, because most of these policies have $100 deductible. Some of them have a $0 deductible, but I'm going to share something with you. Be very careful of those, because there's some small print that you may not know, and I'm not going to name any names, which ones they are. But if you called us or sent us a message at info@iautoagent.com, info@iautoagent.com, please send us the messages, because that's what we want to hear, what you want to hear. So here's how I look at it. It depends on how much you're willing to lose. It depends on how much you're willing to lose. So if you are willing to take a $5,000 hit, let's say a transmission, Dave. We talked about CVT transmission last time.
Yeah, I mean, transmissions, you're in that 4 to 7 range. I mean, those CVT Nissans, we do them for about $4,200. We had a 1-ton GMC van in here. We did a transmission, and it was close to $6,000. That was brand new from GM. So yeah, I mean, we've done.
So here's what happens: you could pay $100 and get well, I won't say brand new transmission, because most of them are refurbished. If you're in a used car, they're going to give you a refurbished transmission.
It's brand new though. I mean, the OEs go through these. I mean, yeah, it's remanufactured, but we just call it brand new. That's what it is. It's rebuilt from GM at the factory.
But the whole thing is if you can write a check for $5,000 to $7,000, then you should not buy an extended warranty, which they're not really extended warranties. We call them vehicle service contracts. But most people understand them as extended warranties. That's why I said that. But if you can write a check for $5,000 to $7,000, then you definitely should not buy one. But if you can't, you should definitely buy one, because it really gives you peace of mind. And I want to talk about some nitty gritty in these contracts. And these are things that you need to look out for when you are looking over the contract. Because if you don't look over the contract and you go, boo, 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 if you're there for 4 to 7 hours, I know you're going to be tired, and you're like, okay, sign that. Okay, can I leave? I know I'm chained to the chair. Can Guido let me out? But if you go through iAutoAgent, we will be happy to do all this for you in our buyer's agent program. So just a little plug for me and my company. So let's really talk about the nitty gritty, because this is important. Rental cars. The company that we use for our extended service plans, they cover rental cars as long as it's a covered repair. They'll pay for the entire thing. And believe it or not, and this is a true statement, most manufacturers, even on new cars, do not provide a rental car unless it's usually an 8-hour or more repair. That's what it used to be. I could be wrong, and I'm sure we've got people watching like, there's no way, that's not true. Well, here's the positive though, is if you do have a vehicle service contract and you'll have a rental coverage. I'm also going to use the word diagnostic fee. Dave, do you have diagnostic fees?
Yeah, absolutely.
Your time is worth a lot, isn't it?
Yeah, we don't work for free.
No. So most companies out there, they do not cover diagnostic fees. There's a particular company that has been used by a lot of, I don't want to make anybody upset, but there are some credit unions out there, I will not name the names, that have this diagnostic fee that they don't pay for. And what you want to really do is you want to make sure that those diagnostic fees are paid for. And one of our, actually, we have a lot of listeners right now. We got
several comments.
Oh my gosh. So a friend of mine that's actually in the car business right now, he had talked about that all VSCs are not created equal, and he is 100%. And that is exactly, Trent, that is exactly why we are talking about this right now. And you got to be careful with the Better Business Bureau ratings, because you can pay for a good Better Business Bureau ratings. I've seen cruddy companies with A+. Look at the reviews and see what people are saying. And unfortunately, when you deal with a non-professional, they're not explaining to you what these things cover. And once a professional explains it to you, which we all know that Trent is a professional that is commenting right now, that's who you want to be dealing with. You want to have it fully explained. And you really want to stay with $100 deductible or less, typically. And some of the companies will actually even eat the deductible because they want the business.
I've never seen a zero deductible extended warranty. I believe you, they're out there, but I've yet to see one.
Well, there are some credit unions out there. Again, I'm not going to name any names that actually have zero deductibles.
Wow.
And they are crap policies. And you don't want to, this is the whole idea of this program, that we do is to educate you. Let's talk about what happens when you sell the car. You have some options too. So what people don't realize is when you sell that car, you have a cash value to that warranty. It's a prorated amount. And most people don't know that. When people come to iAutoAgent and they're selling cars and they're like, oh, we want to sell our car. Okay. Do you have a warranty against the car? Oh, I don't know. Send us your paperwork. We look at it and it's like, you can apply that to another warranty.
Yeah.
Or you can get cash back if there's not a payoff. So if there's a lien on the vehicle, they're going to take it from the lien. You can get cash back. It's completely up to you. Or what could make your car even more valuable is, how would you like to have, and I'm going to use Audi as an example because we talked about this last time. They're great cars, but I never would own an Audi outside of warranty. No. Ever.
No.
Because that warranty will pay for itself all day long, every single day. And how cool would it be when you sell your Audi and let's say you have 75,000 miles and you have up to 125,000 miles of warranty, and you can tell that person, hey, this car comes with 125,000 miles worth of warranty, and you actually know because you've been educated from the Auto Authorities podcast.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, that really made me pumped up when you said that.
I know. Well, it should. I mean, you're getting all excited about it.
I know. I'm really getting off on a tangent here.
No, that's great. Keep rolling.
How much is your car worth? It's worth more money. Now, if you go through the dealer, it's not going to transfer, but you can take that money and put it towards another warranty. I really believe in these products, and I know there's a lot of bad press about them, but I think the bad press is because of the companies that sell them. There's crap warranty companies and there's crap dealers, period. Yeah. There's great warranty companies and there's great dealers. And if you ever want to know the best dealers to deal with, give us a call because we'll let you know. And really, that's what I have to say. Dave, what do you think?
I got a story. I told this last time, okay. But part of it. So a good customer.
Everybody pay attention. Dave is telling a story.
Yep. So I got a customer and he bought a truck out of state. And he bought a 13 F-150 Platinum and they sold him a warranty. So he brought it in here and I discovered because a lot of he needed timing chains. Okay. So it didn't take long for us to figure out that it needed timing chains. So he sent me a copy of his warranty. It was the dealer just gave him, when he bought it, 1 page. Okay. So we waited for them to contact us about whether they're going to send an inspector out or not. I tried calling them. Oh, we're waiting on the adjuster, Well, a customer just said, screw it, fix my truck. So I fixed it and it charged them like $2,700. Okay. So we're done. And that's when the inspector wants to come out to verify my testing and inspecting that really what it is. Okay. The warranty, these insurance companies will send companies out to verify that we're saying what it really is. Okay. And I've had a few of these where these companies
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Will make people wait God knows how long, because I tell people they're in control. They're the one paying the bill. They're the one calling the shots. We're at their mercy, whether you like it or not. There's nothing we can do.
Right.
So he fixed it. And so then when he comes to find out that his warranty that he really got, it's like 13 pages long, and they denied the claim because I fixed it and yada, yada, yada. He got it. And that's when, he found out a lot about what you just said, Jay, because it had cash value. He was able to cancel it because that was rolled in his loan.
Yep.
When they canceled the warranty, that money just got applied to his loan. But yeah, it took 2 weeks for them to finally get back to us about sending an inspector out. I mean, that's just ridiculous.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna throw out a little golden nugget for everybody who's listening. These online dealers, I'm not gonna say any names. They start with a C, start with a V, but I'm not saying any names. They end with an A and an M. You have to be careful and read those contracts. I have some inside information, and that is why we're teaching you today to read these contracts when you are signing them. These are contracts. They are called vehicle service contracts.
Yep.
And if you do not read them, you are buying snake oil. And some of these companies are selling you snake oil. So when you deal with most of the dealers, like the local dealers here, now I have my favorites, and I have the ones that I will never, ever work with in the history of any dealer.
Me too. I got one.
I will not name any names. But when you're working with a reputable place, they're gonna explain these things to you. And if they don't, make them explain them. Know what you're buying. It's not just $40 a month that you're paying. You're paying $2,000.
Well, too, what people need to realize, the dealer, they can care less. Once you buy the car and they sell it, it's not on them anymore. It's somebody else's problem.
Yeah, and again, it comes down to just working with a reputable company, and that's part of the things that we do. We have partners, we have dealer partners that we work with in our buyer's agent program. We already know who the good dealers are. We already know that when our good auto agent clients are going into these places, that they're not going to be eaten by wolves. Everybody's got to make a living. Profit's not a bad word. Unfair is. That's my favorite saying. And we've gotten a lot of comments. I want to thank, Trent and Allison. We have another user that's talking about a warranty on a 2021 Ram. Definitely look up iautoagent.com. Call us at 636-614-3711. I can talk to you a little bit more about that because, we could go on and on about Chryslers because we kind of did last time.
Well, their trucks aren't that bad though. He's got a Dodge Ram. I still call it Dodge. I mean, the Chrysler brand or whoever they merged with another French company.
Right.
But anyway, they put their money in their pickup trucks. That's
and they are really nice pickup trucks, but there's so many electronics. I mean, think about this chip shortage. What happens if a chip goes out? Oh my goodness. How much would that cost? I don't
You're
even
up the
know.
creek without a paddle.
I don't even know what that would cost. But hey, I just wanted to thank, our sponsor, Techie Tony with Techie Tony Media. Also, if you're watching this on YouTube, please click the red subscribe button on Facebook. If you'd like to be part of our community, join our Facebook group, the Auto Authorities Podcast. Join it. Send us questions to info@iautoagent.com. And if you're just getting in, take out your phone real quick. Somebody just sent a message and it threw me off. Can you imagine that? Jay actually could shut up for a second.
No, I didn't think it was possible.
It's something. So if you text 57838, that's 57838 in your messaging, and then you put the word car and you hit send, you will get our free ebook, How to Buy a Car Without the Nonsense. And we actually have version 2, the new edition coming. We have Darth Vader here. I mean, sorry, David Marks. He likes to be called Mark. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, just joking. But no, in all seriousness, I hope you guys got a lot out of this episode. We have a lot to share coming down the road. Thanks to all our loyal listeners. Dave, you have anything before we sign off?
No, sir. That's it.
All right. Hey, have a good one. We will see you next week. Peace.
Peace.